and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to feel sorrow and distress. Then he said to them, "My soul is sorrowful, even to death. Remain here and keep watch with me." He advanced a little and fell prostrate in prayer, saying, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." When he returned to his disciples, he found them asleep. He said to Peter, "So you could not keep watch with me for 1 hour? Watch and pray that you may not undergo the test. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." Withdrawing a second time, he prayed again, "My Father, if it is not possible that this cup pass without my drinking it, your will be done." Then he returned once more and found them asleep, for they could not keep their eyes open. He left them and withdrew again and prayed a third time, saying the same thing again. Then he returned to his disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and taking a rest? Behold, the hour is at hand when the Son of Man is to be handed over to sinners. Get up, let us go. Look, my betrayer is at hand." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
When Jesus prays in the garden, there could be a reminder that comes to us, a memory that comes to us of the prayer of the Our Father. It's interesting that Jesus would teach with his words. He taught his disciples how to pray. But then he acts it out. When he's in this place of greatest need, he says, "My Father, Abba Father." And he asks that God's will be done. Remember, we pray it every day, several times. Your will be done. And then he prays, Lord, about the test. Because this, as Steve has said so eloquently and thoroughly, that this is the place of testing. And he asks for strength. Now it's interesting.
I hope you can hear me as I step away from the microphone, but I know that the sound gets lost here. It's interesting to think of how Jesus prayed. You know, we only do it in the liturgy. And Nathan, I need you to move for a second. And Matthew, I need you to move over to the right here. How Jesus prayed in the garden. It's the same way that we enter and we do the liturgy on Good Friday. We start the liturgy. And it's the same way if you profess solemn vows in a religious order. If you're ever ordained, our deacons know. It's the same posture. They said he came and he went on his face. It's how he prayed. It's how Jesus prayed. He's on his face. Huh? Have you ever been on your face? It's a good place to be. So Jesus is teaching us how to pray and how to handle the most difficult situations of life. Pope Benedict says that no one is strong enough to travel the entire path of salvation unaided. So Jesus' posture is on his face before God. If you read the Acts of the Apostles, when Paul has to say goodbye to people that he's never going to see again because he's going to die, he's not on his face, but he's on his knees. When St. Stephen, who's stoned, the place of his death is very close to here, how does he meet death? He meets it on his knees. Jesus is trying to teach us something. Now, Peter is an example for us of great faith and then great foolishness at the same time. He's one, Benedict says, that wanted the glory of the resurrection without the cross. So when Jesus tells him, when we were at Caesarea Philippi, the place of the gods there, the god Pan, Spanish, Pan. So at that place, Jesus predicts his passion, and Peter says, no, that's not how it's going to be. He rebukes Jesus. Remember, Jesus says, get behind me, Satan. And again, Peter, overconfident, says right before this passage that we read, that look, I will die for you. But there's something that's missing, and God makes all of us go through it at some points in our life. While Jesus is teaching us how to handle the most difficult moments, what are the apostles and the disciples doing? They're sleeping. They're sleeping. They're not on their face. They're not on their knees. Jesus told them, my soul is sorrowful to death. But they're resting. They're resting. He's sending a message to the church for all time that the best place for us to be, the most healthy place for us to be as a church is here. Is here, because we can't do it on our own. We can't follow him. We can't say, your kingdom come, your will be done, and follow that through on our own. We can't. And Jesus knew that, and guess what? He makes you get on your knees to enter the kingdom of heaven. He provides the strength at the end of our weakness. And it's okay. It's okay to be weak, because what does Paul say? In him I am strong. I can do all things through Christ. So the converse is true. While we can't do it on our own, we can meet the challenges if we have that posture. And so for us, as we come to this place and we think Jesus facing his death, facing the cross, you know, for us, we have to face God. Say we had to face God today. We had to face the defining moment of our life today. What kind of shape are we in? I love this song. It talks about the just sort of like the big picture. He says, when it's all been said and done, there's just one thing that matters. Did I do my best to live for truth? Did I live my life for you? And each day, it's a question that we can ask. And so each day, God is asking us as a priority to be on our knees. To be on our knees. The great renewal movements in the history of the church always begin there. They always begin there. And they're always sustained by prayer. If Jesus asks you, how do you pray? How do you pray? I don't know what you would say. So this place, lots could be said about it, but one of the points that we want to consider here is, how do we pray? We all are going to face the great challenges of life, and sometimes we have no idea why. We don't know the meaning. We just know that we need to go forward. We don't know what God is doing, but Jesus is teaching us here in the garden that we meet those moments on our knees. So may the Lord give us that grace to pray, and also give us the determination to pray, to be on our faces, so to speak, both literally and figuratively before the Lord, so that he can raise us up and strengthen us to face the challenges.